Hello, my name's Redneck Computer Geek, and this is the Van Hollen. Van Hollen has a Rustoleum paint job from 2 years ago. And basically, if I pan around, you'll see that Van Hollen is a E250 Ford van converted into a flatbed single cab truck. And it was a mishmash of parts. I'll post a link to the original video down below if you want to see how I prepped it and got it ready and things like that. But basically, we've got everything from Bondo to fiberglass to welded together panels to total boat to different types of sealant. Every fender on this thing and the hood basically was a different color. And so there's a little bit of everything here. So I'd like to go over it, talk about some things that were said in the previous video would or would not hold up, things that I hypothesized in the original video that would or would not hold up correctly, and problems that we ran into. Now, as you can see on my face, the lighting right now is horrifically from one side coming over the top of the horizon. I did that on purpose because it highlights every single, look at that dent. It highlights every single problem with the paint job to the epitome of capability. So, let's flip you guys around. Let's show you my horrible 2-year-old paint job. Let's start from the front with one of the first. The comment section was right, and I wish I had listened. These use a fiberglass hood. And I don't know if you can see this. See that right there on camera? And right there. Basically, the ongoing comment that I got was that I only did 2 layers of Rustoleum paint. And when I did it, it looked great, just like the rest of the paint job. It ended up soaking into the fiberglass, and the comment section told me that I should have done 3 to 4 coats at least on it. And they turned out to be correct. I mean, granted, my cats have absolutely obliterated the paint job. But, oh yeah, right there. Now the sun's showing it. See how it's soaked into the fiberglass? Yeah, this all looked perfectly smooth when I painted it. So, comment section, you were right on that one. Let's go to the next comment section, right here, this transition. So we've got this stuff here that's on our front bumper assembly. It's a rear bumper off of a Jeep that we welded some wings on in order to be able to make into a front bumper that met the requirements for the state of Maine. And when I ground this down and I welded it, I coated everything after grinding this with a wire bristle brush with Total Boat, so that it all sealed from one texture to the other. And then I painted down through it with Rustoleum paint, and this is 3 coats worth of paint. And as you can see, no, it did not rust back out. Is that horrible, and was I in a hurry? Yes. But the Total Boat etched in and made the lines so that the transition did not rust back out. Now, I should have ground this down. You're welcome to tell me that in the comment that it looks like crap. Now, let's talk about the problem child fender. When I was doing this fender, I really should have trusted my gut feeling. In the video, you're going to see that this fender was gray, and it was some sort of, I don't know whether it was Krylon paint or whether it was some really cheap paint or something, but it just, I don't know, should have trusted my gut feeling, and I should have sanded down the entire panel. As you can see right here, because the sun is coming around, you can see this transition right there where the spray paint is. That's because this entire chunk right here peeled instantly off of that gray paint, and it just, like, probably about 2 months after the paint job, it chipped out right here and just progressively kept chipping out. And so I painted this in order to seal these, but really this fender is screwed. Like, there's another chip out there, there's a chip out there, there's another spot where, like, I just happened, oh, the cat scratched it right off. So look at this fender. See all the cat scratches where everywhere that the cat jumped on it, it tore off paint? If we come around to the other side, unfortunately this is the dark side, but the cat also jumps up on this side. And as you can see, the factory Ford paint, it bonded to. The cat has never once ripped a chunk out of that. Both of those got the same amount of paint on them. But whatever the paint was that was on this fender, it didn't etch into. And I should have trusted my gut. I should have sanded that fender. I should have taken the dent out. I should have done it. But I was in a massive hurry. Oh yeah, you can see right there. Whatever that gray paint is they used, it just chipped out everywhere. Alright, so what we've covered here is that every factory paint area and everywhere that was Bondo, it all went on to perfectly fine. This entire backside here, as you can see, is a horrifying Bondo job, and it went on perfectly fine. Oh, here's what we did run into. For some reason, extreme Rustoleum paint out of a spray paint can. Let me get the light better. This is what happened when I tried to come back across on a thin spot with Rustoleum Extreme out of a spray paint can. I should have waited like 3 days and then come back and sprayed it, but I did it while it was still semi... I wouldn't say it was wet. It was well flashed off. I mean, it probably was about 2 hours later that I noticed the thin spot, and it immediately did this to everything that it touched. And up in here, I was painting the door trim on the inside or something. I don't remember what I was doing. But, oh yeah, I saw that there was, right there, I saw that that edge wasn't fully covered, so I just kind of spritzed it a little with a can, and as you can see, something reacted between the two. Alright, let me see here. So, yeah, everywhere that there's a transition, see right in here, we did total boat across all of those seams. We did 3 sprayings of total boat. We really overkilled it. And then this piece here was literally just solid rust on it, and we total boated it and then sprayed it down. Nothing special. And I don't remember which one of the liners that I ended up using. I'll look it up in the original video and post the name down below. And it shrank. I don't know why it shrank, because I made sure to spray it when it was like 60, 55 degrees out or whatever. And so there was no reason that it should have shrank, but it did. And you can literally see where the tape line was, and it shrank itself down there. And it did on both sides. So it's not like it did it where it heat soaked from the sun. Let me come back around. Because when I painted it, that would have been the sun side of the paint job. Because a lot of people say the sun will screw your paint job, and yes, it will. But if we come in here, this is the shade side of the paint job. And as you can see, it did it there, it did it there, it did it there. And it really did it right in there too. So I don't know what was up with that. One of the theories in the comment section I've gotten over the years was that I should have painted this in 3 layers or 2 layers. I did this as a one-shot, really thick layer, and that's been the ongoing theory, is that this happened because I sprayed it in one very thick layer. So take that with a grain of salt. There's no confirmation, there's no nothing about whether that's correct. I'm just passing it on. So this entire trim line here obviously is Bondo, as you can see, and that is held up perfectly fine with the Rustoleum. I'm going to come around, even though the lighting is not the greatest, and see if I can catch this edge. Let me see if I can get the lighting into there. See that? That right there is what happens when you grab the wrong thing of sandpaper. So I grabbed like I think it was 180 grit sandpaper, and if you were here looking at this with the bare naked eye, you can literally see the swirls of the sandpaper. And so, again, like the fiberglass, yeah, right there, you can literally see where the swirls are. So, like the fiberglass, on the front, I don't know why, but the Bondo there, unlike the Bondo there, and I must have chose a different type of Bondo for this corner, because I was using anything and everything I had at the time to finish this project. It soaked the paint, and about a year later, every one of those swirls came out as if it was, you know, some sort of haunting of the build. Now, give me just a sec. I'm going to jump up and show you the top drip edge, because we did have a problem there. So if we come up to the drip edge and we look at this side, and I still haven't figured out why, this is your professional grade 3M. This is what you spend like $25 a tube for, and it all pulled away. Every single bit of it. This is the professional I paid extra for. On the other hand, most of the Chinesium I paid like $5 for stayed. I haven't figured out why. But basically all of the 3M from here all the way around ended up coming out and going to hell. This section actually, for some reason, and I haven't figured out why, this corner seems to be a problem child. And maybe it's due to the way I park, because I usually park here, so heat probably heats up there and cuts across the unit. But for some reason, even though I total boated everything, I sealed everything and all of that, it actually kind of like flash rusted out from under the paint job right in all of this area, and I had to redo it about a year ago. I don't know what's up with that. It never blew back out, but I must have had something that was wrong with it when I did it or something. Maybe the total boat didn't fully soak in. Now, there is a known issue with these, that this drip edge, the white sealant that Ford uses, is known to crack away. And so it looks like it's solid and it cracks away in the seam and then proceeds to rust underneath all of it until it pops it. And I'm wondering if maybe I just didn't get enough of the white original Ford stuff out of here. And maybe it had residual water underneath it that just didn't come out. I don't know. That's my only theory, because all of the drip edge was all done exactly the same way. But for some reason, that one spot turned into a problem a year later. The welded doors have been great. Have not had a single quibble with the welded doors. As you can see, the seams have not cracked back out at all. A lot of people were convinced that they were going to crack right down through here and right down through here where they were welded. I think if I had been a cheapskate and just bondoed them, I think they would have cracked back out. But mine are fully welded top to bottom all the way. There's no gap whatsoever in order to crack. Well, actually there is. So we never welded this. In fact, actually, the original door seam seal is behind here. I kept meaning to come back through and fill this with caulking, but I kept forgetting. So, you know, I probably should do that. I probably should fix the window stud that's missing. But that's for another day. Now, I have an entire Ford Ranger dedicated follow-up video on frame painting with Rustoleum. It's probably one of the #1 videos on YouTube. I'll post a link down below. But basically, this is on track about the same as the Ford Rangers. I managed to catch this frame when it was in way better condition than the Ford Rangers was, and so this frame is held up better on the Rustoleum paint job than the Ford Ranger frame did. Now, it still needed a 2-year maintenance of retotal boat some areas and descale a couple of things and repaint it. But on a New England vehicle in the rust area where they put salt on the roads, that's the norm. If you're not willing to face that reality, I'm sorry, that's not my problem. Anyways, keeping a vehicle on the road for $60 worth of paint every 2 years is not that big of a deal as far as I'm concerned. But you guys tell me, what do you think? Anyways, that's my Rustoleum paint job follow-up. Things that I learned, things that I screwed up, things that I would have done differently or whatever, and things you guys commented on that you were right. And see, that's the big thing about this channel. If you want to like and subscribe to it, I go back and forth with the comment section, and I tell you if you're right or if you're wrong sometimes. Have a good day, and bye-bye.